banana. Okay.
Searching far and wide in the swift autumn air, what do I come across but an indie film? Hello, what's up? You're joined with me for Crispy's Reviews, where we take the most underground and indie films, music albums, video games, and anything else indie onto the main focus of the internet. Today, I'll be talking about an interesting film called Captain Fantastic. No, not from Fantastic Four, which is what I thought, which is they should totally change this title. But Captain Fantastic with Viggo Mortensen. An interesting flick that has nothing to do with the title, really. So, I'll give you what this is about. So, this movie is about Viggo Mortensen, aka Aragorn, from Lord of the Rings, and his family here, who has 6 children, alright? And he's raising them all in the Northwest Territory of the evergreen forests of Oregon. Ooh. Okay, this guy is basically developing his kids in an environment that promotes hunting, your own food, jamming like a campfire site, which I got this massive stick from before. Looks like Gandalf's staff. It promotes being a stoic, basically knowing your own knowledge and being highly aware of that and your own faults. They're self-taught, they're homeschooled, or I guess you could call it nature schooled, because they're out there reading books every night. And so he has all these kids, right? And so his wife is there too, okay? But she is pulled out because of bipolar disorder. So he brings her into town, into society, and she has to deal with that because of serotonin depletion. And she's sad and awfully depressed. And if you don't know, for bipolar disorder, it's one of the most dangerous in terms of taking your own life. So what happens is there's a main theme to this movie, Captain Fantastic. It's, can you survive if you develop and grow your family outside of society? Can they act to the norms and function in society if they go back? So there's a lot of tug and pull in this movie, mainly with the eldest son. He's able to get into a bunch of different, all the Ivy League schools he can get into because he's smart. All these kids school every other kid that there is. They're super smart, super versatile. Also, the eldest gets in an interaction with a woman or a young lady his age, and has no idea what he's doing. No clue. So there's a lot of things that are missing. But at the same time, Aragorn, Viggo, is trying to teach them to deal up front with their conflicts and issues instead of shoo-shooing them away, which most of us do in society. Now, it's most prevalent in the interaction with their aunt and their cousins when they have a little family dinner. They're trying to explain, well, first of all, the aunt goes for the old, oh, put that phone away or I'm going to smack you across the face technique. No. That's not balanced. So, we have the kids playing their phones at the dinner table. We have a Vine dinner with the adults. But then Viggo comes out and is like, his kid asks if he has some wine. He said, yeah, sure. The Italians do it. Which I agree with because it actually promotes responsible use. Totally fine. Instead of binging everything. And then he schools their kids by asking them what the Bill of Rights is, and they don't even know what the hell it is. And then his kid, who's like 7 and is like way younger than them, is asked what's the Bill of Rights, and then starts like reading it from memory, like, and then actually describes it critically in their own words as well. So it's like beyond high school level over these high school kids. And then they ask about, and then their aunt asked about their mother, and is like, okay, was trying to tell them how she died, and they just say she got sick and died. Sick people die, and then they basically ignore all the issues. And what that states is an unwillingness to accept death, where Vigo and his family like literally hunt, so they know death, they sense death, they feel it, they're around it, they around the cycles. Their mother is a proclaimed Buddhist. Basically, the whole movie is a struggle of being in a society that ignores natural tendencies. So, what I would describe this as is nature mysticism. Mysticism. Basically, being able to go out into the world, in the environment, as it is, and finding deeply connected experiences within nature, and taking that out of it and bringing it back to the real world. Their family surrounds themselves with these experiences, so they are totally aware and unashamed of bringing up anything that has conflict in it. Our society tends to punish people for bringing those types of things up, which is seen when they try to stop their mother's funeral, which she didn't want, in a church. And it becomes a deathly awful realization that we can't be in society and be completely free from all of its greed. You have to pick. And the father didn't want to give that up. Because the mother and the father thought, okay, like, this is actually going to make us happy, being in the Oregon wilderness with our family. Like, we're actually surviving, we can actually do this, we can actually be healthy in mind, body, and spirit. But actually, I think what this movie proves is that inevitably you're missing the social part. The social health is missing. Because the eldest son can't interact with the girl, the other kids are looked at as weird. Like, as they leave the aunt's house, the other, like, cousins are flipping them off as they leave. It's just like they don't fit in anywhere. So that is something, like, they may be high and rich in mind and body and spirit, but they're lacking social health, which is necessary. And that's basically why society exists in the first place, because it brings people together. So the moral is that we have the ability to choose whether we're going to be in society or we're going to be outside of it and alienated, right? Like, we could be disconnected and alienated. And they were disconnected, but they were more connected to nature. And so the question is, what's healthier? And basically the end is that they have to find a balance of both. And that's what we deal with these days. So, and if you didn't know, my name's Joey, and I live in Boulder, Colorado. And we have a direct connection to nature. Like, I literally live next to the mountains. And it's a blessing to be able to go out and experience nature as is. I said hello to a deer family twice this week. Just like, they're actual creatures, and it's like interesting because they can communicate in a way. And you start to connect with that. And we're not just boxed into our houses and our little rooms. As you can see, my room is super extravagant. I'm trying to branch out. But I'll tell you this. Being connected to nature does keep us healthy. But we cannot forget that we love to experience it. That is a human condition with each other. See you next time.